These are definitely interesting times, wouldn't you say? But the thing of it is, it seems like despite all these things going on, sometimes it feels like the people you're around are on this planet and you're on this planet, right?
Look around. You see all these people going about their lives. No idea what's happening around them, what they're in the middle of.
I just want to go back to before.
Dunham, I don't think you can.
In this video, I'm going to show you one way you can actually tap into your subconscious and help you not only through these interesting times, but actually answer a lot more questions. And it all starts with the MacGyver effect. This one method, of course, was associated with the guy who wrote the MacGyver show. And he came to rely upon this method when he needed ideas for the show, because he was, it was like back to back. It was a lot more stressful. And much like his character, he really had to come up with these ideas. So he came up with the MacGyver method, which works really well. This is Zolov. He says, I'd never have to worry about a problem. If I get stuck, I know my subconscious can come up with answers my conscious mind literally can't dream of, and in far shorter time frames. It's totally removed anxiety from my writing process. Other people have talked about using the same method. They hadn't given it this name, although this is one way to look at it, and it will make you take notice and maybe solidify it more in your mind. The MacGyver method is something that's already been used, but let's just call it the MacGyver method because it sounds cool and it also works. He proved it through his use of the MacGyver method in figuring out things for the show. So other people have used it as well, writers, famous and not so famous. This is how the MacGyver method works. The MacGyver method is very easy. Part one, just identify the problem. And you're going to be doing this by handwriting it out. And the key to handwriting is it taps into your subconscious a little bit more specifically than if you do typing on paper, or if you definitely won't work if you just talk it out with somebody. So you have to handwrite out the problem. Once you handwrite out the problem with details, you want to get detailed on what the problem is, and as much as you know, don't try to solve the problem. Just write down all the details. So you can get trapped into trying to solve it if in that moment. Don't do that. Just write out the details of the problem as you see it. He says, don't worry about connecting these details. It happens in your subconscious. So that's the magic of this whole method. So part two is incubation. And this part is harder for some to do than others. You're basically distracting yourself from the problem you detailed out in your writing down the problem. So you step away for a little while. And you do light exercise, something that's not stressful. You don't want to get tired or feel anxiety from this. And it's between 4 and 24 hours that you want to do this. It really depends on you. And 24 hours is more often than not going to be a solid time frame. As you get used to this, you can get it down to like 4 hours, whatever. What's important is that you just go for the longer time frame in the beginning until you understand the process, and then maybe shorten it. But that shortening in the beginning might cause you a bit of stress. So what you don't want to do is watch TV, because TV evidently kicks in the conscious mind a little bit too much. And so you don't want to rely on TV. You're just going to do some light activity, go for a walk. Definitely a walk in the woods along a trail works wonders. The third step is just free writing. Now, free writing is something to get used to, but it's just, off. You're just sitting down, you're not really thinking about anything. And Stephen Kotler actually says you can even just start with song lyrics and then write down the lyrics and then just keep on going with whatever comes next from your mind. And shortly after you start that process, you'll get an answer to your question. It may seem magical at first, and you may be very critical of this at first. You have to allow the process to happen, and then you'll see the magic within it. And as long as you allow that, rather than trying to figure it all out, I think you'll see that it works wonders. It does for a lot of different people. So definitely worthwhile to just go through the process and let go of that critical mind and allow your subconscious to come through the free writing, which is basically writing without stopping and not really thinking about what you're writing. You're just writing. And a lot of it's going to be garbage, but you're going to come upon these golden nuggets and you will come up with the solution to your problem. It works wonders, and it's really easy to use.
You've had the most extraordinary gifts, but the only one you were denied was knowing it. You've had the power all along.
Put it all together in a very simple process. All you're doing is handwriting down the problem with as much detail as you've got, going off and distracting yourself for up to 24 hours, light exercise, anything like that, getting back and free writing, and you're done. So that's the MacGyver method. It's a great way to tap into your subconscious. And there's different exercises you can do this. Follows along the same line. It's not really called the MacGyver method, but it still does pretty much the same thing. It's really worthwhile doing.